Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Richie Plunker from the Puppetdom Geek, and today guys, I'm starting out retro flashbacks where I go through my collection of retro goods, of consoles, games and whatnot, and just talk about them and how they changed my life as a gamer. Because I am a big retro fan and I do have a small retro collection, nothing really, excessively big, but I'm a big retro fan, and if opportunity comes up, to actually get something which is really old school, I would go for it, considering if I have the money or not. I'm not that type of person who just have every single game from that console. If I have a particular game that I like, I will try out to buy it. I'm that collector who just wants to collect for themselves. I don't have any intention of actually selling any of these. If worst comes to worst, maybe I have to sell them, but my intention is to keep them, have them on display, and take them out of the seal, because I reckon they're out there to be displayed rather than plastic package. Saying that though, I do have a box edition of the NES console, which was released in 1983, I believe, in Japan, and 1987 in Australia and in England, and I think 1995 in North America, which actually cost $2.99 for the deluxe edition, which I believe was this right here, which you had a combination of the Zapper and which had Duck Hunt on there, and Mario Brothers, which was an amazing game and one of my all-time favorite games, I think. Now, as you can see in the box itself, it's pretty beaten up. I did find this. I did actually own an NES controller myself, or not a controller, so a console myself back when, and then we actually gave it to another family member when I upgraded to the PlayStation, because back then I wasn't a big, I was just a kid. I just wanted the next best thing, and the next best thing was the PlayStation. So obviously I moved on and I gave away the console, and then coming back to now, I was like, I found it on the internet. I was like, I have to buy it. I have to have it back in my collection. And it's quite funny because on the back right here you have the family, so we're like, oh my god, this is intense. And what's really funny is I think the game isn't inside the console. Like, they're somehow playing the game, but it's not actually in the NES, which is really funny. But saying that though, as you can see here, while I put this down, I do have the TV set up, because we are going to play some Mario Brothers and some Duck Hunt, because they are my all-time favorite game. I dug out this TV from my arcade machine, which I'm slowly starting to build, but hopefully we can actually talk about that also in the next coming videos on the process of building an arcade machine, if you want to. And as you can see, that's why I sort of spray painted it black, because it sort of blends in the background. Anyways, inside the box, what you get is, obviously you'll get your Zapper, which is here. Classic Zapper. It does have another model too, I think a blue one or some sort of grey one. Works really great. You do have to have the special antenna or something like that, which comes anyways with the box. The NES game of Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, which I love. I'm gonna just keep saying it. And obviously the console itself, and then you do have two controllers, which is one is somewhere around the house, I don't know. But yeah, the console itself was, it was a really interesting design, and you do find a few cases, I believe, if you look at my last review on the Rocket cases. As I love Nintendo, I do have a NES case itself, and it's just a really interesting design. There's people out there who've done heaps of hacks on it. They've turned it into toasters, they've done crazy things. People have put computers in it. It's just a really interesting console, and if you aren't old enough to remember the NES console, I definitely recommend trying to find one, or find someone that has one, and just play it, because the whole nostalgic of having a controller like this or using a Zapper, it's just, I don't know, it's a really good feeling than just sitting behind a TV screen playing Call of Duty or whatever game you're playing. So let's all plug this in and see how we go. Okay, so everything's all plugged in, and let's put this baby in. Now, before actually putting in the console, what you would usually do is actually blow on the cartridge, which sounds horribly wrong, but for some reason it just worked, even though it doesn't actually do anything. Like, it's actually the chipset, which is down here, and you can actually fix that if you do have a broken game. You can actually clean it with alcohol wipes, and just to get it back and working. But for some reason, blowing into the cartridge just worked. I don't know why. So let's put this in, shove it down there, and power it on, and there we go. This is going to be quite difficult, but let's play Mario Brothers first. Let's start. my god. These are some of the secret tunnels. Now let me just pause it there, and as you can just see, with the actual Nintendo or Mario Brothers, this is again one of my all-time favorite games, and it just looks, I don't know, like it's the 8-bit. I mean, that's why 8-bit itself is so popular, I think, on a lot of games these days on mobile devices, just because it's something really unique and something, the artwork, you really have to take into detail. I mean, saying that though, the artwork that you get in like big games like Assassin's Creed and all those major games out there, that takes a lot of detail too, a lot of polygons. I've done a bit of 3D design, and it takes a lot of effort just to do that. That's why I don't do it. But something like this, it's just one of those games which is, I don't know, it's just really nice to play. Yeah. And there's the fireworks. It's so bad. But it's so bad that it's good. It's just one of those things. I mean, if you've played games like from, I think, Nintendo 64, the story is a bit more compelling. Ooh. Anyways, I died. Why not, we'll try Duck Hunt, I think. Just hit the reset button, and then we'll go to Duck Hunt. Now, with Duck Hunt, the actual game itself only works with CRT TVs, and that's just because of the actual infrared switch, which works with the gun, and it's just sort of light just hitting the actual TV itself, and it wouldn't work with LED TVs, LCD, any of those. I think you can buy some sort of adapters or something like that, I'm not too sure, but if you do have this, it would only work with the NES, CRT TV. Just trying to, there we go. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll see. Oh wow. I think it's just hitting it because I'm so close to the TV, you're supposed. Ah! Okay. This is actually quite difficult. There we go. Now I think you can actually play some other games too, which I'm trying to control and it doesn't work. There we go. You can actually play clay rounds, which is actually a bit more interesting. Not as fun as having the ducks and the dog. Oh, you only get 2 shots. That's gone, obviously. I haven't actually thought this through, have I? But you get the idea, and hopefully, let's just pause that. Now you get the idea on how everything works with the NES controller, and how I think, personally, it was one of my favorite consoles of all time, just playing constantly. And one of the hardest thing I found was when actually playing Mario Brothers was I couldn't save it. Like, there was no way that you could save the game. You would just have to play straight through it, and if you died, you would have to play again. And if you started the next day, you would have to play again. That was just one of those things. Just one of those problems that you have with a console like this. But saying that though, I don't know, I think it definitely made me appreciate games a bit more, now, considering you get heaps of games out there, and I think a lot of games are really, story driven, which is, pretty good. I mean, you get some really great games out there which have really great stories, but at the same time, you know, sometimes you just want to play a great game, and you know, one of those things what Nintendo did was just made great games. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this sort of look on the Nintendo, and hopefully you enjoy the series of retro flashbacks, and hopefully next week we'll check out something a bit more interesting. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys later. See ya.